If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true. A lot of influencers will push things that sound too good to be true, when in reality, what fitness is a lifestyle change, like you said, and it's not done fast. Any 30-day or 2-week pushes or 7-day cleanse, that's typically just not going to work for 95% of the population.
From Maine's cold coast to Connecticut pride, Vermont's green hills, take it all in stride. Massachusetts traffic, we grip and we grind with a Dunkin' iced coffee and no peace of mind. So New England stands up proud. Chowder thick, we shout it loud. From Fenway Chance to Rhode Island tide, New Hampshire's cry, live free or die. So New England with Ian Brownhill.
Good friggin' morning from New England, folks. Welcome back to episode 89 of the So New England podcast. I am your host, Ian Brownhill, joined virtually by my co-host, RJ Trav, because, busy guy, can't always be in studio. And of course, Vinny Chen's behind the lens, keeping it real for us. We got a good one for you. I hope you guys have your workout clothes on. RJ, tell us who we got in studio today.
I'm starting to like the Vinny Chen's behind the lens. That was very creative of you. I know it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen, but we have another first on the pod. After 90 plus episodes, leave it out to New England to still have one of ones out there. Today's guest is here to discuss life in New England, his journey into fitness, and maybe teach the boys a thing or two to lose these Dunkin' bellies of ours. I don't know if Ian can. It might be patented. The gym is a sacred place with unwritten rules of kindness, motivation, and discipline, and honoring those is a very vital part of the gym and life itself. When you take the step to make fitness a lifestyle, it's crucial, but oh so impactful. And today's guest is going to tell us why. Holding it down for Boston and sharing his lifestyles today for all to learn, we welcome Mr. Darren Battista!
What an intro. Unbelievable.
Love that, right? That could be that's the new, you just got to put that on the speakers at 5 a.m. in the studio.
Blast.
That was unreal.
We can get a better voice, but yeah, we'll get the horns. That's the hard part when you're virtual. You don't hear the horns.
I appreciate that. That ever was unreal.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Darren, well, thank you very much for making some time out of that busy schedule of yours to fit us in. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.
That
So
was
you
awesome.
and I
I'm pumped to be here.
connected, maybe, I want to say almost like a year and a half, probably like 2 years ago now, because you were training Tommy G and Prosciutto Poppy. You were
Training the
also
boys.
training Kev Cooney over at Equinox prior to going out on your own. So we linked up and been a big fan ever since, always using the tips and tricks and motivation that you're putting out there. So much appreciated.
I can tell with the biceps. I mean,
You know what I mean? I'm out here trying my best.
the sleeves are fighting for air over on that side of the camera.
All you need is an extra medium or a kid's large from Gap. And that's
Boy,
usually how
I know
it
a
goes.
thing or two about that. Don't you worry.
Love it. Well, Darren, I would love to get my audience introduced to you a little bit more and help your audience get a better, grip of who their coach is. So
Totally.
let's take it all the way back. Where did you start? Are you New England born and bred or what?
Yeah, so born and raised in Waltham, right outside of the city. I lived there literally my entire life leading into, I moved to Boston, inside the city, South Boston, only 3 years ago. So I lived in Waltham all the way from when I was a kid to 25 years old. So that was, I didn't move around a lot in that realm of things.
A lot of experience, apparently.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, so, grew up in Waltham, moved to Boston, kind of to take it back even before that, with how I got into fitness, if you guys are ready for that portion of what we're going to go
Yeah,
through.
let's hear it, man. I want to know it all.
Yeah, so was around it my whole life. My parents were big into it. Obviously, like just seeing it as a younger kid, it made me interested right off the bat. I actually went to school in Rhode Island for a year. So over near you, actually. Went to Roger Williams in Bristol, Rhode Island.
Oh, nice.
Went there with the intentions to play basketball. I played basketball growing up all the way through high school. I ended up being the last cut on the team there, which in the moment felt like rock bottom for me, because I was like, what do I do now? Where does this go now? I was like planning to play basketball. I had this whole plan going in. And that actually turned me to the gym because that was like the outlet to, I was like, I still wanted something competitive, but obviously it couldn't be in a sport at that time. So I went to the gym and I fell in love with it that like freshman year of college. So I ended up transferring to Bridgewater State, a little closer to home, and studied exercise science once I got there. And that's where it really like it took off. I started helping my friends out a little bit. I was in the gym almost every day and I fell in love with it. And that's when I really started to know that I wanted to take it into a career. What I did not know is how far I would go with it to like the point that I'm at right now. So it's crazy looking back at that one moment of like getting cut on a basketball team, and it's led to, being able to help thousands at this point through fitness.
No kidding. That's an interesting
awesome.
story. The when were you at Roger Williams? What year was that?
That was wow. I graduated college in 2021, so that was probably 2017,
Okay.
2018. So way back.
I'm wondering if we ever crossed paths. So one of my best friends went to Roger Williams, actually 1,000-point scorer and the steals leader at Roger Williams for basketball.
What's his name?
And yeah, Ryan Palumbo.
That sounds very familiar. I think that he might have been a little bit older.
Yeah. I'm 34, so that would have been 2000.
He was in our
13?
grade, so 10 to 14. But didn't he do a fifth year for
Yeah,
his?
he did a year postgraduate prior to that.
3+2 type deal. Yeah.
And then he did. Then he played Roger Williams. But I would go there and still play pickup with him and the team. And one of my good friends is one of the assistant coaches at Roger Williams now too as well. So. And I play basketball in Warren and Bristol all the time. So I got a lot of connections, but I used to play pickup there at night around 2017. Me and my boys would just like sneak on the court in the spare gym instead of not, and no one ever questioned us, even though none of us were in college, and we'd go play pickup with all the college kids. So that's funny. What a full circle moment.
I mean, we definitely at some point must have crossed paths then for sure. That's funny.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I remember there being a jack, tall, handsome guy that was on the court. And I was like, well, I don't want to play against him.
And the tall, handsome guy, it couldn't have been me. I'm rocking 5'10" over here. So,
well, I'm 5'8", so that's why 5'10" is tall to me.
all right, there you go. All right, cool. I'll take that all day.
There you go. I mean, I know in Boston that's like, a cardinal sin to say you're 5'10" because that's still a short king status. But
well, and when you say you're 5'10", usually everyone tells you that you're not, right? They're like, you're definitely not 5'10". So I'll say 5'9". People will believe it. Will be good.
Yeah, I say 5'9", and the guy right over there in your other camera lens goes nuts because he's 5'9". He's like, I've got at least an inch on you.
It's because I'm bald and he's got the curls on top. That gives him that extra oomph he needs to be my height.
You got to use the hair to your advantage, fellas.
That's
all
it.
right?
Oh,
That's what they teach you.
Good joke, Darren. Good joke, Darren.
I had no idea. Never saw the hat off before today.
This hat is more than just an accessory. I'm hiding it.
Yep.
So when you got into the training, did you start at Equinox in Boston?
Yeah, so I did a couple experiences, so internships throughout my college career once I started at Bridgewater. So those were completely unpaid just for the experience portion of it, which I learned a ton, met a lot of cool people through those two experiences. And then I started at Equinox right when I graduated college. So that was my first stint of like big boy job, full-time fitness. And I spent 3.5 years there, and obviously I made a ton of connections, like the Kevin Coonies of the world. Obviously I trained Tommy and Prajut there for a while. And then, I mean, all the people in between that as well. It was phenomenal experience. I was grinding. I ended up becoming like a top 5 trainer in the company there, which was, that was a really cool place to just grow and learn and meet a lot of cool people and network.
Awesome. Another fun fact that connects us here. I was a sales associate down at South Beach Equinox for like a year. I think I might have told you that when we had first met, but just to continue our story going here. So it was, I got a little understanding of what you were up to down over there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, man.
You knew the Equinox sales process.
Yes, I know exactly how it goes. If I had you as a trainer, I'd been selling you like crazy. But in South Beach, it was hard. The turnover was intense over there, so it's kind of hard to get people to book some training sessions. But
for sure,
it's a great spot for you to do the
trainers.
networking.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that's kind of what that's what separated me a little bit there was like I was in it. Once I started it, I was really like I wanted to go all in and just be the guy that everybody knew. And I feel like I did a pretty decent job of becoming that at Equinox, and it gave me the tools to eventually, create what I've created with Battista Bootcamp and Ritual, and take this on my own and pretty much bring the same exact energy. But it's like my back's against the wall. It's all for me now, which is cool.
Excellent. Well, I would love to kind of talk about the inception of Battista Bootcamp, where the motivation came from, and just how you've utilized social media, the networking connections in Boston to kind of do something that a lot of people not only are afraid to do, but take a huge risk in an economy that isn't necessarily the easiest it's ever been to start a business in a city that's expanding at rapid rates and costs are through the roof. Kind of walk us through the thought process, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of what you've done, and then some of the different avenues you've branched out to, because there's a lot involved in what you're doing outside of just being a personal trainer.
Yeah. There's a lot of different avenues that I've kind of gone down and explored, which is the cool thing about fitness is that it's not just like one set road anymore. There's so many different options here, but the main driver was any personal trainer will tell you this, that's like on their feet 40 plus hours a week. You get to a certain point in your career when you're doing that you're like, there's got to be a more efficient way to reach more people at once. And I think that was always my biggest thing was like, I wanted to have a leading impact on more than just one person in 1 hour of time. And I loved that portion of training, like that one-on-one aspect. But I would stand there sometimes and be like, I was meant to do more and impact more than just like one person in 1 hour. So that's when I started diving into the virtual fitness world and coaching online. I was able to, utilize social media to kind of grow my own roster of people. And I started out solo on that through my fitness app that I started. And it's gone all the way. I made my first hire with Jamie Hines. I've got to shout her out. She's literally sidekick, partner in crime. She's helped me build this whole thing. She was the first girl that I brought on the team, and now when I sit here today, we have a team of 9. So we've grown the virtual fitness team pretty large in the last year, which has been exciting. And that was my first kind of step towards branching off and doing Battista Bootcamp as its own thing. It was something I started online while training people at Equinox, and I was like, I want to take this thing, to the moon and above that. And we've definitely made strides in that department for sure.
Amazing. And what goes into the process of you with your training? What does that look like taking on a new client? How do you usually set people up? Because ultimately, I would love this to be not only an informative episode, but allow people to say, hey, maybe Darren's a guy for me. So give us your sales pitch, brother.
I like that. So with the Battista Bootcamp app, we have a team of 9 coaches, 9 very talented, personable coaches that I've obviously met and grown very close to. So it's a team of 9 that I trust, including myself. And we can kind of cover any type of individual that comes in and wants to work with us. How to work with us? We all have an application link in our individual bios on Instagram. So we're very heavily generating, clients through social media. That's our main driver of advertisement. We all have our own application forms through our accounts. So you can literally go on to any one of my coaches' Instagram accounts, apply to work with them. And we meet with you on a call to, talk through the whole app and what we do almost immediately after that. But essentially, to give you guys like the long story short with what we do online, we create everything from your custom program. We do your meal planning for you. We track your calories with you. It's all 24/7 access coaching. So I like to call it like a personal trainer in your pocket, where you have 24/7 access to a coach. They're just never there with you, watching you, but you have all the abilities that you would have with a personal trainer, aside from having them sitting there watching you do the movement. So I think the biggest driver for me was like, how can I provide more to a client throughout the entire week outside of just that 1 hour that I spend with them in the gym? That's the biggest barrier to personal training is I could have you as a client for 1 hour a week. I have no idea what you're doing those other 6 days, right?
Right.
With the virtual fitness app, I know exactly what you're doing 7 days a week. So I can monitor you 24/7 all the time. The only caveat is I don't see you at all in person.
Gotcha.
So I would argue that that 24/7 spin is probably more valuable than just 1 or 2 hours a week. And I don't really see you the rest of the week and don't help you out.
Gotcha. Okay. So then you would say that your coaching approach is not just the physical aspect, because the 24-hour access, you get involved in the nutrition and the daily habits of someone that is trying to work on certain goals. Like, let's use the stereotype of weight loss.
I would argue that the nutrition piece and the lifestyle coaching piece is larger than the workouts with what we do.
Right.
I have clients send me menus at restaurants. I help them make selections that I think are the best option for them. I have clients send me lists of different drinks on menus, and they're like, hey, what would you order? So it's very much so like we create strong relationships with our clients where they trust us to help them make those decisions. And I think it's much bigger than just giving them a really good workout program. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And do you customize these, let's use the word diet, although it's a lifestyle change. Do you customize these based on like what people are looking for? And I just want to harp on that in the sense of informing people of the variety of skill set you have, that it's not like, is it a one size fits all? Do you work on just a strict macro tracking basis? Or do you help people who are interested in fasting and paleo and vegan and they're gluten free? Your team is able to cover all of those?
Yeah, we cater completely to the individual. So all of our coaches are completely nutrition certified, all certified nutrition coaches. So we've worked with over thousands of people on this fitness app now between, we're newly at 9 coaches, but for a long time, it was about 4 of us. So we've exceeded about 1,000 on this app, and we've seen
amazing.
Or worked with every single type of person at this point. So we cater to the individual for sure.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And how does the app work? Is it a subscription service? Is it per coach, per visit? Do the prices vary based on like tier accomplishments of some trainers have larger education, some are newer to the industry? Is that how that all works out?
So it's totally different based on the coach you select, but we work with all of our clients on the coaching app on a time commitment basis. So it's a full-on coaching experience. We don't want to work with somebody for 30 days. We want to work with you for at least 90 days so we can fully make progress towards the goal, because let's be very transparent with each other. No goal is reached in 30 days. And if somebody tells you that, they're already misleading you.
Right.
So that's where we come in. We're very transparent and honest, and we say, hey, we want to work with you for at least 3 months to make strides towards where you're trying to go. We're not going to lie and sugarcoat things and say, join us for 30 days and you'll lose 20 pounds of fat, because that's not what we're trying to achieve at the end of the day through coaching. So
that's pretty
awesome.
cool. That's a very great way to look at it, because you're right. And I feel like anybody who does anything, it takes almost like that first month to really get into the habit, the second month to notice it yourself, and then that third month it's like, okay, now everyone's starting to notice it. You get in the habit, and it's that exact thing you said earlier, the lifestyle change. Because I think with what you're trying to accomplish, that's more important than, hey, you lost 10 pounds in 30 days. Good for you. But it's like you change your life and you're healthier. You're going to live longer. You're more fit. You can do things you couldn't do. So
totally.
That's awesome.
I also find that like that first month that we work with clients is the month that most people want to give up. It's that first month where they're like, oh my God, I really don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know how to track my calories. I have no idea how far off the bat I am. And it can be very discouraging for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And we as coaches, that's where we come in on month 1, and we have to keep them on track and say, hey, we get it. You didn't start from like some higher foundation. You're here right now. We got to slowly build you up. And if we were saying we'll work with you for 30 days, they're not learning anything out of that experience. You need to go through those harder times to really figure yourself out when it comes to fitness and nutrition. And that's just a fact.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Now, let's talk about the in-person training, Battista Bootcamp. What was the motivation? What is the gym itself? Just classes? Is it just training? Do you offer memberships? What's the location? What's the hours? Let's talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so we just recently opened a small studio in South Boston. It's actually right on West Broadway. So anyone that lives in South Boston, I'm sure you know what West Broadway is. It's literally the main street in South Boston. It's a small studio. It's private training only, and we do a little dose of small group fitness classes, about like 8 to 10 people. But the idea or concept is you're only in there with your trainer. So we have 5 coaches in there. To shout them all out, it's Jamie, Mel, Garrett, Steve, and myself. So shout out to them. We got a strong team in there, and I'm not just trying to toot my own team up, but they're solid 5 coaches.
Toot away,
and,
my friend.
And yeah, so you only get in there when you're training with a coach. It's not like a public gym setup, and I think that creates a pretty cool exclusivity factor because it's not something that anyone can just walk in and say, "Oh, I'm gonna lift today." So you got to
A
be
good
with the coach.
exclusive feeling.
Exactly. But yeah, we're located right in the heart of Boston and Southie, right on West Broadway, and we also have an Instagram page for that. It's Bootcamp HQ. So if anyone wants to train in person with us, there's an application form in there as well.
Fantastic. And how about these larger scale events that you've been getting yourself involved in? Are you the curator of these events, like from inception? Was this all your idea? Did you get into business with some people? How did this all come to life? And talk about everything that you have, because this is like a crazy movement that everyone wants to be a part of in Boston. So I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so the concept is called Ritual. So I actually founded it with a couple other buddies. Colin Powell and Brendan McLaughlin are their names. They were running a party series at the time. So they own a separate entity where they throw big parties and they would sell tickets to it. I started to craft the scene with the fitness events and doing some like 100+ people fitness events throughout the nightclubs in Boston, which was a pretty cool experience. And one day, I actually trained both of them as well. We were standing there, and I was like, what if we took both of the concepts that we have going and find a middle ground where it's more based around wellness, but we bring that after party aspect to it as well. And Colin actually came back the next day, and he goes, why don't we call it Ritual? I looked at him, and I said, that's the name. Like, we're definitely rolling with that. We started it last summer at a venue called Park City in South Boston. It's honestly South Boston's largest, nicest outdoor venue that you could go to. It's pretty new. Just opened last summer, and we stood there when it was not built out. It was completely gutted, and the owner of that place said, hey, we're open to let you guys try something out here once we open. They opened last June. We had our first event there last summer. And I think there were 80 people total there. And we looked at each other and said, maybe this isn't going to work out. But we stuck it out throughout the whole summer. And it ended up, every other weekend, we were selling out 500+ person events on a regular basis.
Ooh.
We've continued it this summer. And now we are doing it every single weekend, selling out 500+ person events every weekend now. So it's become something that is way more than a fitness and wellness event. It's literally something that it's a feeling, right? Like people get a certain feeling being there, and like that, the energy that's brought to that space, everyone's there for something positive and there's no judgment involved. It's all just a lot of like-minded individuals that are there trying to get better, trying to meet people, and just have a good time. And it's been something special, and I'm proud to say that I play a role in founding the entire thing. It's been cool.
Amazing. And what happens at Ritual during this event? Is it live exercising? Do you have vendors? I do feel like there's a massive energy and movement online right now where fitness industry is making a small comeback from the influencer stage alone, where people are running more. You got the Strava app. Everyone's running. There's run clubs all over the place. Everywhere. There's a newfound interest of people who are like, the drinking scene is kind of dying a little bit, and people are like,
Absolutely.
let's wake up early and go and get a cool, because now like protein is in these watermelon crazy flavors, and there's seltzer protein shakes. It's like, you know, it's the old of the days where like I was really heavy into it, where I was just like shotgunning these nasty whey proteins, like just gotta get my macros, bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely caught up, and it's great. So tell people what they can expect when they come.
Yeah, so you show up to Ritual. We start at 9 a.m., so we have a bunch of different options. So at 9 a.m., we have my class, which is a boot camp class. It's like a full body. We have bands, body weight stuff, full body like strength and conditioning workout. At the same time, we have a run club. So we have a bunch of runners that take off the second my class starts. And then at 10 a.m., we have our first Pilates class. And at 11 a.m., we have our second Pilates class. So Pilates has become a pretty
huge thing,
low renowned cult, and we had to cater to that. So we do.
It's so true. It's so true.
So we do 2 Pilates classes, and immediately after that last one, we do an after party with cold plunges, coffee, 1 free drink for everyone's that's there. So if they want to drink, you got the option. You got the free drink ticket. And we have a bunch of vendors.
First, making it part of the fun, casual experience. It's not just a burger and a beer after work, and then it turns into 10 beers, and you're like, shit, I'm not going to workout class at 5 a.m. that I signed up for.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
That's so
and
cool.
alongside that, we have a bunch of vendors that come. They're on site. They do a bunch of cool offerings, raffles, giveaways, just cool stuff like that to, you know, for people to check out after their workout while they're drinking coffee. So it's become like a serious movement. And even myself on day one of it, when we had that first event and there was literally 10 people in each class, and we were like, all right, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I'm glad we just stuck it through because it's become something really special.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Good for you for finding the strength to continue on. And
Yeah,
like I said,
seriously.
because there's
Great
such a
feel-good
change
story.
going on, you guys are at the foreground. I often have these conversations with people where I talk about hard work pays off when luck strikes. And it seems like luck is striking you right now with this on top of the other things that you're working very hard for, of course. So
Absolutely.
we love to see it.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
I gotta know though, as a trainer in Boston, there's got to be some pretty funny experiences and characters you've dealt with, and like that New England Boston energy that's just like, dude, I don't want to fucking work out. This sucks.
Yeah.
You're horrible. This is too expensive. You know, I don't want to eat the protein. This is hot garbage. Like, is there any funny good story you got like that?
Funny, good stories. I think that I would have to say an entire funny, good story is just the experience of training Tommy and Peugeot.
I would imagine so.
Them
They're such
two
characters.
together are probably the funniest duo when you're trying to tell them, hey, like, we're doing legs today, and they both walk in and it's instant cuss words.
Yeah.
Just pounded on you.
Yeah.
Right? I could probably go down a list of, just like funny experiences we've had together, but, it'd probably get pretty inappropriate just with like things that are said. But them two are hilarious. Shout out to them two. They work their asses off. And I have the utmost respect for them. So
Absolutely.
there's too many stories to talk about with them.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Of course. I don't want to make it too personal. It's just the thought of training in New England just seems a bit comical to me, just because of the natural nuances of how we are as people. We're all very combative, especially when we're tired, hungry, and doing something we don't want to do.
1,000%. I'm in the business of making you do whatever you say that you don't want to do. Right?
Exactly.
Deal with it too much.
Well, of course, as a trainer, I've got to get your personal insight to the social media world. And we don't have to get too deep. I don't want you to have to share too many opinions so no one gets upset. But why don't we focus on what is it that you think is beneficial about social media when it comes to the fitness industry? And what are some taboo, frustrating things that you constantly feel like you have to debunk and argue against about the fitness industry online?
Yeah. To answer the first piece of that question, I think number one, to show your expertise. So I feel like I can express a lot of just my knowledge and what I want to share to help people. I feel like it's the easiest avenue now to be able to get a message across or just like general information that you think could help somebody. And I was, one when I post something on social media, I always look at the saves because I feel like people that are saving it are really like valuing that information, and that makes me feel better than views, right?
Right. Because that's
so
actually that's a very tangible thing that can drive results for what you're doing.
Exactly. So
awesome.
I feel like that's number one. Number two part of that is just a genuine connection. Like I've met some of my really, really good friends in the fitness realm through social media, just from like a cold DM. It's actually funny. Like I met Tommy Garino through a DM. I would have never had that experience with him and Prosciutto if I didn't send them a message. So I just think it's like the easiest way to meet really, really good people that are doing good things in this space, not even in fitness, but in life. So I have to accredit a lot of that to social media. On the other side of that, I think that fitness is very saturated on social media, like very, very saturated. And there's a lot of people that might not be fully educated on some of the topics they're trying to push. And they might just have a bigger name or a bigger following, so people are quick to believe in those things. I won't speak on anyone or anything like that, but I think just in general, people know social media is a very saturated place, and there's a lot of false information that's shared. All I like to focus on is putting out good stuff that I believe in, that I think will help a lot of people. And I think when you treat social media in the positive light and just focus on delivering the best that you know, and you just don't worry about the false stuff that's out there, it becomes much more seamless of a process.
Love that.
When someone is looking into doing their, maybe they're not so inclined at the gym, or they didn't play sports as a child or kid or, preteen, and they're kind of looking for that step into the fitness realm or like we said earlier, the lifestyle change. What advice would you give them when it comes to kind of like weeding out some of the stuff that you talked about? Because let's be real, there's a lot of clickbaity crap out there when you're like, you want to point someone in the right direction for good quality, whether it's training, nutrition, or all of it. What would you say?
Yeah, I think that my piece of advice is if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true. And what I mean by that is like a lot of influencers will push things that sound too good to be true, when in reality, what fitness is a lifestyle change, like you said, and it's not done fast. Any 30-day or 2-week pushes or 7-day cleanse, that's typically just not going to work for 95% of the population. So I feel like people that are really just trying to dip their toes in and learn, I think the more basic that you keep things, or like if I'm on the viewer's side, I would be looking for the more basic advice that doesn't seem too good to be true, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that stuff where it's typically a longer process, but it's more sustainable and fits a lifestyle, that's what can actually help an individual that's just starting out, not the 7-day juice cleanse. That's not going to help somebody that hasn't touched a weight in their life. So
actually, it's probably going to make it worse. If anyone's ever tried a 7-day juice cleanse, let me tell you, don't do it if you're not near a toilet, because that ain't going to be a friend.
So
you start pumping celery juice only inside of that colon, it ain't going to like you, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
Not that I've tried it or anything.
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
Yeah, I tried things once or twice.
So let me get your professional opinion, not only on what is happening, but also how you're dealing with the fact that right now as a trainer, you guys are in an unprecedented time with this AI, because people are able to get workouts. It used to be that people didn't know that macro calculations and how to figure out what's best for your diet and your height and your weight and your age. And getting workouts used to take like, hey, you go to a trainer, they test you out and now you can just say, hey, I look like this, I feel like this, give me a split. And now it's like that instant gratification that, of course, will never do you justice in the fitness industry. Yeah. And we have the use of GLP-1s, which, of course, for the right person, for the right reasons, for those that are, using it, I just want to say I support your choice. However, I am just asking from your perspective as a trainer, how are you dealing and overcoming with the people that are on these supplements as well as using AI?
Yeah. On the AI front first, what I always say to people that I meet with that are interested in joining our app There's 1,000 fitness apps out there using AI that will tell you they make the best program with the best meal plan and the best advice. But what a lot of AI apps don't have is myself in my Celti apartment, spending an hour taking you through what we offer because we care about you, the individual. And I think that's what will always set human connection apart from AI is people don't invest in the workout program. They invest in somebody that they fell in love with, whether it's their training style or the way that the coach makes them feel. And I feel like that's why I'm never nervous about this stuff and the way it's trending is that we have a team of 9 very great people, right?
Right.
And they treat their clients like, they're the most important person in the world, and that will always trump a robot, in my opinion.
Absolutely. No, I'm with it. And I think people are craving human connection too, which is why, I look at the industries that are likely to be the most affected. And I immediately was like, wow, I bet the fitness industry is going to have a huge uptick in overconsumption of information and not enough applicability because AI is telling them everything, but they don't know how to apply it properly, and they think that they're saving money. Like, oh, I don't got to pay a trainer. I'll ask Chat. Yeah. But Chat isn't actually watching you physically work out. They don't know about your hip dysplasia. They don't know about your shoulder surgery and the fact that you have to train a certain way or if you're pregnant, etc. So
it's an accountability thing too. Like you talked about having your app being one of your people is 24/7 access. So when you go to the dinner with your person or whatever, and you're like, hey, what can I get here? You're responding, and an AI program's not going to do that. AI program's not going to have your back and know what you're, like he said, that stuff, or hold you accountable. They're not going to check in.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that will always be the difference is just that craving for like that human connection, that accountability partner in your corner.
Yep.
And then on the GLP front, I mean, it's a growing thing, whether someone likes it or not. And like you said, I respect anyone's choice if it's the right person at the right time. And it makes the most sense to give them that first kickstart towards weight loss. Go for it if advised by your doctor. But I think the people that are using it when they probably shouldn't be, I think that they just neglect the fact that they don't want to take the longer road, which is typically the harder road. And that's okay.
A sustainable road, perhaps too, right?
Exactly. And that's okay. If that's not for you, that's fine. But what's going to happen down the road? Who knows? But I can tell you what will happen if you take the longer road, which is the more progressive one. Is you'll keep the fat loss forever if you do it the right way. Whereas you try to do these fast track things, it becomes a little less sustainable. At the second you go back to your old habits, that weight comes back on. And, we've seen that story, like a lot of my friends that's happened to, and just people in general. It's the yo-yo effect where they try this quick fix. It works. They go off of it. They gain the weight back. And it's like this just cycle of, I don't want to speak too much on like the GLPs because I don't have a ton of scientific background on it, but it's just an example of something that can be treated as a fast fix.
Yeah. And I think that's the part that kind of breaks my heart a bit there, because it's almost as if like, once again, even when the fitness industry is on a tear with information readily available, all of these things, once again, the industry has found a way to pry on the most vulnerable people who are trying to find a way to fix and change their life. And for those who are using it properly and it's made a difference, I'm so happy for them to have results and feel good about themselves and being able to, as you said, take that as step one to set them up on the path of good trajectory. But it's not always the case for everybody, and that's not always going to be the same benefit. And some people, it's not going well, and it's making them sick, and these other things. And it's just like, it's a sad reality of the industry that always makes it hard. One more opinion question here. What do you think of peptides?
Dude, that's the question.
If you want to plead the
question of the year.
Yeah, because this is a big thing right now, man. And as someone who used to compete in the NPC and do bodybuilding, and I never touched any supplements like that. I know peptides are not steroids, but I tell you what, anyone that's on peptides right now doesn't look like a normal guy to me. That's a guy that's a little bit between the steroid and the normal.
Yeah. That's been a question, that I've been asked by all of my guy clients, a lot of people on social media. To answer it, I don't have a ton of, knowledge around peptides and what the individual ones, what result they yield. I think it kind of falls into the same category of you're just trying to find something that will get you to the goal quicker, and nothing's going to replace just doing the work at the end of the day. But again,
Safe answer.
if it makes sense for somebody,
I'm going to ask you off camera. You're too media trained for me.
Yeah, and I don't take
I want
them.
the meat and potatoes, buddy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
of
I do
course,
not
that's the
take them
problem.
to
I'm
answer
asking you to
that
give me
question.
carbs. This guy hasn't seen a carb since '96. Look at those guns.
Oh, I love carbs. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me
Carbs
wrong.
are not the
Ian.
enemy,
Come on.
right? Awesome.
Carbs aren't the devil, baby.
Hey, So New England listeners, we're going to take a brief break to let you know about something amazing going on right here in the local Providence, Rhode Island community. The Family Fun Fest is back and better than ever. Attorney Rob Levine, your heavy hitter, I know you know who he is. He's going to be giving away over 1,000, that's right, 1,000 free backpacks packed with school supplies to kids and families who need them most. So come join us August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the India Point Park, and please bring your family because it's going to be a great time, and even better, it's free. Come enjoy live music, food trucks, a petting zoo, and more. So don't miss Rob Levine's Family Fun Fest event where your heavy hitter steps up to bat for the community. This is a good time to transition to our So New England segment. 6 beautiful states here in New England. Let's rank them 1 through 6. You got a favorite to least favorite?
I'm going to go. Ready? We got Massachusetts.
Of course.
Connecticut's number 2 because my mama Dukes is from Connecticut. So we're going
All right,
Connecticut
we'll respect
number 2.
it. We respect mamas around here, so we'll allow it.
Rhode Island, 3. Shout out Roger Williams.
Yes.
New Hampshire, not really a reasoning. Taxes, I guess. Lower taxes. And then we're going the last 2. Vermont and Maine.
Maine at 5. 6 is crazy. That's pretty low for Maine. You're not a Maine guy.
Not really a Maine guy. I had nothing against Maine. I just haven't really been there much, and I feel like it doesn't deserve a top spot for me.
All right. Hey, listen, these are opinion-based questions, folks. That's
Maine
what
would
we're here for.
disagree, but they're going to be proud that you said that because they don't want no one up in Maine. With those 6 beautiful states, if you could add a city, state, country, whatever it may be, to make it the 7th, just don't even worry about geography. It fits right in. Comes with the culture, the people, the food, all that. What are you bringing? What are you bringing to number 7?
I'm bringing Miami. I love
Let's
Miami.
go.
I love the vibes. I love the food. I feel like when I'm in Miami, I'm just a happier person. Not that I'm not happy, because I always am happy, but a little
There's
happier
something
when I'm
about
in
the
Miami.
sun in Miami that makes you
That
smile.
is Miami.
I've
is
never been
should
able
be
to
its own
explain it to
place.
someone because it's too
a great
damn hot. I'm
place.
like, yeah, it is that hot, but there's something about it.
Yeah, it
It's a
just
vibe.
feels
It's
good.
a vibe.
Yep.
That's
Miami's number 7.
Awesome. How about
Hell
your
yeah.
sports teams around here? You got to be a sports guy, right?
%. You want the rank?
Yeah. Let's hear the ranking. What's your favorite? We don't have to say least favorite, but which one do you consume the most until the least, maybe?
I'm gonna go Celtics first. Played basketball growing up, so that's definitely an easy one. Go C's. They're gonna go through some change here. I would
I
assume.
didn't even want to I didn't even look at my phone. I'm too afraid to see what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah. So we're going Celts first. I'm gonna go Pats second.
Oh,
Been watching a lot more Pats, I feel like, in the last couple of years. Love Vrabel. He's a savage.
savage.
Sox, number 3.
All right.
Played baseball as well growing up, so I got to keep the Sox somewhat up there. I still love them. And then last 2 are the Bees. I'm just not as much of a hockey guy, which is probably why I don't love Maine as much. It snows a lot out there. And I don't know if we even count the Revolution, but they're.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Revs
yeah.
are there. We count them. We'll throw them in. We keep them
We'll
in the
count the
mix always.
Revs. They're last. No disrespect, but
Awesome.
With all the cool things and fun places and great food and just all the greatness that New England brings, if you can think of something that is underrated and also the reverse of that, overrated as well.
something just about the city in general, or foods.
Yeah, New England as a whole, or if you want to specify Boston, that's fine too.
All right, so I'm gonna go overrated is the winter. Yeah, I feel like people like the winter here. I don't. I'm good on that, which is probably why Miami's number 7 for me.
Yeah.
And
So
then
true.
underrated, I'm going to go coffee here. I feel like there's a lot of good coffee shops that people don't show love to. At least
Yeah.
Boston's making a good attempt to, get some
Right.
good coffee spots on the scene. So I'm going coffee. I feel like underrated
Yeah, they got
spots.
that. They got that place. What do they call it? Dunkin' Donuts. That spot's
Exactly,
awesome.
yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna put a fun spin on this because you're an exercise guy.
Yeah.
What is the best New England style cheat meal?
Ooh. Wow. You're stumping me with that one, Ian.
Yeah, my fault. I mean, listen, it could be
I like
it could be
that.
somewhere in the North End. It could be chowder and lobster. It could be whatever you want.
You know what? I got it for you right here. So my favorite restaurant in the city, or one of, is Prima in Charlestown.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to Charlestown. I'm going to Prima. I'm getting the chicken parm. I'm drenching it in vodka sauce. And we're having an absolute night. Maybe a dirty
Love
martini on the side. Why not?
Oh yes, I love it.
Talking dirty.
Exactly.
That
Shout
sounds
out Prima
delicious.
Charlestown. I hope they
That
see this.
sounds delicious. When you do your events and you have all these people that are coming to work out and have a good time and just vibe with you, is there any time where you think to yourself, and tell me why this is, that guy or that girl is definitely from New England? And what are they doing and what are they wearing?
How do you spot a New Englander in the wild?
100%. I mean, just by talking to people, because, like I'm the head, I MC all the events. So after I'm done on the stage, people will come up and introduce themselves, and it's the accent. Like, it's always the accent. Just, the typical New England bro dropping the hard eyes,
Yeah.
They got the accent on them, but there's a big mixed bag with what we do, like at our events. So you'd be surprised. Like, there's a good amount of that, but there's also a good mix of everybody, which makes it really cool.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. 2 rapid fire questions for you. Favorite season?
Favorite season, summer.
And
Bang, we're in it.
favorite influenced film or TV show that's from Boston or New England?
Good Will Hunting.
Oh, what a guy.
Duck
Darren, you're the
Will
man.
Brown.
We appreciate you jumping on with us tonight. And where can everybody find you? Where can everyone start training with you?
Yeah, check us out. My IG is at Battista Bootcamp, Battista Bootcamp on IG. Look it up, follow. We're here. We're ready to work with you, all our team. So
Awesome. And for anyone that's interested, what are your measurements, brother? What are you like? You're about 5'10". What are you, like 200 at least,
I'm
right?
5'10", $165, believe it or not.
Are you shitting me? So you're like,
I'm
what,
sure.
3% body fat?
Somewhere around there. I'm going to leave it up to the audience. They
You
can
got 2
decide.
inches of height on me and you got 35 pounds less than me. Damn it.
Yeah.
I need to come to one of these workouts.
Well, you know what?
Battista
You're
Bootcamp,
joining
you
the
can
app.
see, you can see it. I know, I'm on it now. I'm going to sign up.
Yeah, I know. I'll see you Saturday. Don't
Yeah,
you worry.
I'll
I'm going to
see
be there.
you.
Let's go.
He'll be
Let's
the guy
talk,
with
boys.
the flops and Dunkin' Donuts with a glaze stick.
I like that. Both of you are my 2 newest clients. We're starting Monday.
I love it. All right, Darren. Thank you very much for your time, guys. That's going to conclude episode 89 of the So New England podcast. Please try and remember, folks, life's better in New England.
Red Sox crack and the Celtics fly. Patriots fight and the Bruins grind. From 6 great states, we raise